Hey guys, it's Nigel. Welcome back to my channel. So if my mood is a little bit chill, it is nighttime. I'm in my little nightgown and I'm gonna go to sleep after this download that I just had while I was laying in bed. And the guides want us to start unlocking these timelines. And what does that mean? So anything you could ever want or desire in life, the possibility to connect to that timeline is possible. Think about humans as dots. The dot represents your point of being and your existence and where you are right now. Now I get why Feel Good is always like, be a dot, I'm Mr. Dot. I get it now. Because you being in the present is you being a dot, but this dot can connect to any timeline you can perceive, okay? Now think about your desires existing on timelines, okay? Let's say you have a desire to be a homeowner. That is on a timeline. And when I mean timeline, it means when you close your eyes, or you can keep your eyes open, it doesn't matter. You can envision yourself living that experience. That is a timeline. Another example of a timeline, let's talk about like the zombie apocalypse, how there's so much programming in the media bombarding you with zombie apocalypse stuff, right? So that is a timeline that humanity can connect to. And humanity has already connected to that timeline because we've started creating media that projects information from that timeline. This is the significance of the media. If the media can expose you to a particular timeline, you can act in accordance with what needs to happen to slowly bring you into that timeline. So yeah, let's go back to our desires and the good stuff, right? Not the programming stuff. The guides want you to know that you are infinitely connected to every desire. You are connected to every desire. The only thing that stops you from accessing the desire is your beliefs. Your beliefs will connect you to any desire or any timeline you want to connect to. You get from your present, the dot where you are here, to the desired outcome by beliefs. You unlock the timeline with beliefs. Do you guys get this? This is huge. You unlock the timeline with beliefs. Any timeline you want. Any timeline. Let's see. I can give you an example. Let's say you have a desire to be a six-figure business owner, and you're currently not that yet, but you have a desire to be that, right? So when you think about that version of yourself, and it's all about thinking up the version of yourself, okay? Because nothing physically changes outside of you until you internally change, and then the world that you create on the outside is a projection of the internal change. If you ever are not experiencing your desires, it is a matter of the internal world that you are currently residing in is not in accordance or in alignment with the external desire that you want. Okay? So the way to unlock the timelines is through beliefs. When you change your beliefs, the way you act and maneuver is going to change. For example, let's say currently there is a person who is 300 pounds, right? And they desire to lose weight and be in their healthy body, right? Currently, physically, the belief that they have is what has gotten them to where they are currently, overweight, right? Overweight for their size, because there could be a tall person who, you know, is close to 300 pounds and they're perfectly healthy, right? So let's say they're overweight because they're, you know, by their size standard, it's overweight. They're overweight, right? All they have to do is perceive a healthier version of themselves, see themselves in their healthy bodies, right? And then you have to ask yourself, who did I have to become to experience that timeline? And you will begin to think, that version of myself probably started exercising regularly. That version of myself probably started eating healthy. That version of myself probably started taking her vitamins and supplements. That version of myself probably got a gym membership. That version of myself probably started walking every day. That version of myself probably started making friends who also had really great healthy habits. So, do you understand how to get to your desire, you have to tap into the mind of the version of yourself who has attained the desire? And why is the mind the only thing that matters? Is because the mind is holding the belief. The only thing that is stopping you from being where you want to be right now is a belief, okay? You are believing more that it is not possible more than you are believing that it is possible. Therefore, you're experiencing more of what you don't want. Let me see. If you have, okay, they're talking about the law of polarity. There is positive and negative in everything. There are two sides to a coin. There is a positive end of the battery and a negative end of the battery. So both aspects always consist in everything continuously. Guides, what are you saying? Okay, they say continue. Okay, I'm gonna continue. And so, because polarity exists, it is your, I'm hearing human design, but it's not human design. It is a power that you wield as a human is your ability to choose your perspective, and perspective is very huge. You can choose, okay. They said keep it simple. Okay. The way to get to your desires is to put more belief that your desire is possible than there is belief that the desire is not possible. It's like a scale, okay? This side says it's possible. This side says it's not possible. If I put more of my energy and effort and attention onto the side that says it is possible, this reality, this timeline, this desire is going to outweigh this desire. All that matters is that you believe more than you don't believe. Beliefs are so important. Going back to the person who wants to like get down to a healthy body weight, if they believe that it's possible more than it's not possible, the action steps they're going to take are going to be in alignment with the belief or the knowing that if they put in effort, they will get their desired outcome. There are some people who don't believe that it's possible for them to put in the effort and lose the weight in this example, right? Therefore, they will never experience the timeline where they lose the weight because their belief, their disbelief is heavier than your belief. Ooh, okay, so the guides are saying the only reason why you have, it's like a train. You are constantly on this train as a human intentional creator. And we're all on a train. We are all on a train, meaning we are all on a journey. We are all going somewhere. And we are also simultaneously the conductor of this train. And the train is going to keep going and it's never going to stop, right? The guides say that as your train is moving and it's always going to move, you always want to focus on what you desire and holding the belief that it is more possible for what you want to desire than it is for it to not happen. It is more possible, or you have to have a belief, you have to believe more that you will be successful more than you will not be successful. Does that make sense? Polarity always exists in everything. You just have to have more energy behind the belief that you want versus the belief that you don't want. Which is why it's totally fine when you have those negative beliefs, when you have beliefs that are contradicting what you say you want, because this is your subconscious mind showing you you still have a limited belief. You're still energetically paying into it's not going to happen more than you're paying into it is going to happen. When you start having the belief more and more and more and more that it is going to happen more than it's not going to happen, you will slowly, your train will slowly be moving in the direction of it happening, it actually physically happening, because you believe it's going to happen more than you believe that it's not going to happen. Okay? So, like, for example, I love watching tarot readings, right? But some of the times people give their power away to the tarot readers. For example, they'll like go ask a tarot reader, am I going to get this house? Am I going to get this house? And it's like, well, do you believe you're going to get it or not? Right? And it's like, a lot of times a person is asking, am I going to get the house? Because somewhere deep down in them, they don't believe it's really going to happen and they want external validation. So you can always check your internal compass, and if you're leaning closer to what you desire or leaning closer to what you don't desire. Because if you have to ask everyone for external validation, that is a sign that you do not trust your own beliefs. And like we said, your beliefs are unlocking the timeline. So you have to first believe that what you're asking for can even happen for you. And it's not a matter of worthiness, because you're worthy of absolutely any and everything on the planet. Okay, the universe is made up of matter, and we are here to have that matter, to own that matter, to wield the matter, to put the matter to work. Okay, that's why we have bodies. That's why we have physical bodies here on Earth. In other planets, on other galaxies, and other dimensions, everyone doesn't have a body. So Earth is kind of special in that way, where matter is important. We are meant to obtain the matter, but Source, God, the divine, is not going to give us the matter if it is going to corrupt us even more than we already are. This is a word. So now they want me to talk about how the reason why you have not become successful in the way that you want to become successful is because your success might lead to your detriment. If you got what you asked for right this second, if you got what you asked for immediately as soon as you asked for it, and you were not energetically in alignment, you are not mentally in alignment, you're not emotionally in alignment with what you're asking for, you will lose it. It will make you go mad. It will be your detriment. For example, if you want to be a millionaire, which $1 million is not even a large amount of money these days anyway, but like, okay, let's say you want to be a millionaire. Let's say you want to be a billionaire. We can start small. Let's say millionaire. So you want to be a millionaire, or you just want to make more money than you are making now, right? And you have a belief that you know you are worthy of more money. But there is some type of work that you haven't done within yourself. Therefore, God, Source, the divine, is not going to unlock that money to you, because if God gave that money to you, it would be your detriment, meaning you would take that money and blow it all. You would take that money and buy a bunch of food and make yourself overweight. You would take that money and buy a bunch of drugs. You would take that money and lend it all to a friend. You would take that money, like, you may not know what to do with the riches God wants to give you, Source wants to give you. Therefore, it is on stall, it is on pause, because Source is waiting for you to do the internal work, so that when you receive what is yours, what has your name on it, you do not ruin it and you do not ruin yourself. Okay? It's like when people ask to be famous, please God, make me famous, I want to be famous, I want to be famous, right? And the universe is like, all right, she wants it, give it to her, right? And then the person becomes famous and then completely destroys their life, goes crazy, gets addicted to drugs, is like in and out of psych wards because the fame has corrupted them. Why? Because you didn't think about the internal work that was going to need to happen for you to be able to sustain this manifestation. A lot of us are just shooting out these rockets of desires. I want this, 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 I want this. And we are allowed to do that, and the universe wants us to do that. The universe wants us to have desire, but at the same time, the universe wants us to calibrate and be in alignment with the desire so that it can give us the desires and with the least possible resistance, okay? You want to learn the lessons associated with your desires before your desires get to you. Because if you get the desire and you haven't learned the lessons yet, you are going to be learning the lessons when you get the desire, right? Instead of enjoying and appreciating the desire, you're going to be learning how to energetically align to keep and sustain the desire. Another example, let's say you really, really, really desire to be in a relationship, right? Like, I'm ready for my partner. I'm ready for my divine masculine. I'm ready for my divine feminine. I want them to come in. I'm ready. I'm open to receiving love, right? But you haven't done the internal work. So your beliefs are janky and your mindset pertaining to love is janky. And so the people that you are attracting in your life are janky because they're trying to teach you certain lessons so that you can be ready to hold space for the right person. Okay? Because if the right person came to you right now in your messed up self, they're going to be like, I'm good on that, right? And it's like, no, you're supposed to be my person. But because you didn't do the internal work, you cannot sustain the relationship with that person. Okay? So I hope this makes sense. Your desires are a belief switch away. Yes, there are also actions involved to get to the desire, but it starts with the belief. The belief that it can happen unlocks the actions, okay? You can do the action steps, but if you have not unlocked the timeline by believing it is possible, if you have not unlocked the beliefs that are associated with sustaining the manifestation, it can't come to you. You have to believe more that it will than you believe that it won't. Does that make sense? Okay? Think about energetic points. You want more energetic points in the belief of your desire than you have energetic points in the fear that it won't happen. Okay? And remember that you are connected to any timeline you want to be connected to. You unlock the timeline, meaning you unlock getting to that desire by unlocking it with your beliefs. It's all a mind game, guys. It's all a mind game. And I was watching this other intuitive reader. It was my first time stumbling upon her channel, but she's pretty cool. She's a channeler. And she was talking about how things are about to significantly change on planet Earth pertaining to time. For as long as we've known life, we've all been kind of under the illusion of time, right? And so we are not manifesting as fast as we can because we are under the, I want to say, enslavement or entrapment of time. But time is an illusion and doesn't exist in other places, but that's why Earth is special. Okay? So what am I saying about the time? The time doesn't matter. How long it takes you to get what you want. It could be a day. It can be a second. It could be an instant. Everything you ask for can unlock in a moment. Think about people who become YouTube sensations overnight. Why? Because energetically, they're just open to that timeline. There's no resistance. There's no fear around it. They're just putting out videos because they're doing what they love. And somehow they go viral extremely quickly, whereas there could be somebody else who's been posting content for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years and they don't go viral. There could be like lots of reasons for it, but I'm just saying, like, you'll notice that certain people who blow up really quickly is because they had no resistance to the idea that that could happen for them. Therefore, it happens to them. They don't have limiting beliefs that are stopping them from inhabiting that timeline, from activating that timeline. Okay? So you activate the timelines by unlocking your beliefs. If there's anything in your life that you want that you don't see right now, you haven't unlocked the belief. You will know the belief is unlocked and integrated when what you ask for arrives. Okay, you guys? I love you. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to sleep. So good night.